It's the Happy Families podcast. It's the podcast for the time-poor parent who just wants answers now.
Sometimes you actually do have to be strict, be clear, be firm, and let the kids know where we're up to right now is not where we're supposed to be. These are our family values. These are the expectations we have. Let's lift a little. Let's improve.
And now here's the stars of our show, my mum and dad.
It's Friday. That's what I hear every morning when I call the kids to say good morning. I've been away again, secret business this week, I should say, with, I can't say, just might maybe have something to do with parental guidance season 2.
Oh, you're such a spoiler.
I've been away.
Can't say anything.
Maybe I can say a little bit. I've been away all week with something to do with parental guidance season 2 that I can't tell you about. And every morning when I ring, I hear the family say, it's Friday.
Well, no, you don't.
I just realised they don't say it's Friday, do they?
Because if you did, we'd have a really hard time getting through the rest of the week because it should be the weekend tomorrow.
Everybody says,
Good morning.
And it makes my day when I hear this chorus of daughters sitting there in the car with you on the way to school saying good morning. What a great way to kick off the day. Anyway, it's Friday. It's Dr. Justin Coulson here with Kylie. Have I said that already? I'm feeling a little bit discombobulated. I don't know why. But it's so great to be able to share our I'll Do Better Tomorrow episode with you. Just before I do, we've been so grateful to receive some emails from people who are saying, hey, we listened to the podcast, we really like it. We had an episode just the other week, episode number 517, episode 517, 6 phrases to transform your relationship with the kids. And Erin from Michigan, Kylie, Michigan.
That's pretty cool.
Listen to a couple of kids from down under. Thanks, Erin. Appreciate the email. Erin said, when life and the to-do list gets overwhelming, I say to our kids, focus on one thing first.
You know, that has been pretty much a mantra of mine this week.
Really?
And it's made such a difference.
Tell me more.
I have just been really intentional about just every time I think about something, we're in a new house and there's lots of things that I want to do.
So much to do.
And so instead of trying to keep it all in my head, I just am writing a list.
Yep.
Every day as they come in, I'm just writing the list and I'm not focused on getting that list done. It's just so that I don't have to remember that that's what I want to do. And then as I go through the day, I'm just like, okay, I've got time to do that. And I'm just doing it. I'm breaking all of these bigger jobs up into bite-sized chunks, which means it's so much more enjoyable and I don't feel stressed. It's been brilliant. I love it.
So that sounds like it could be an I'll Do Better Tomorrow in and of itself, because if we want to be better tomorrow for our kids, we just need to actually focus on one thing at a time. Monotask, not multitask.
Yeah.
I think I said it in the podcast, multitasking is a myth. You can't do anything well if you're trying to multitask. I love that. So, Erin, thank you so much for listening all the way from Michigan in the United States. Erin says, I love your podcasts. So helpful. Highlight of the day. Thanks for making our world a better place. We try, Erin. Also says, by the way, because Erin is a bit like me, let's get as much value into every interaction as we can. Erin added, we also say we can do hard things, which is another phrase that can transform your relationship with your kids. I really appreciate the email, podcasts@happyfamilies.com.au. Also, Kylie, we received a voice memo. This one came from Rachel about the same podcast episode.
My name's Rachel. I'm a mum of an 8-year-old daughter and a 6-year-old son. Listened to your podcast today about the things we can say to improve our relationships with our kids. Something that I've tried to be a bit more conscious of recently is to say yes. Now, I'm not talking about yes in the sense of, giving in to all of their demands and stuff like that. But, there's so many little moments where our kids might ask us to do something with them. Often as parents, we're just so busy and it can be, I guess, easy to default to saying no or just leaving them to it or thinking that it's okay for them to do these things on their own. There's something really special about the look on their faces when they ask you, can you do this with me? And you say yes. Yeah, just make the most of the time that you have with each other.
Why did we not think about that one?
I was going to say, what was that doing not on our list? But if you want to transform your relationship with other people, actually say yes. Listen to them, help them, be there for them. So grateful for that one, Rachel. Thanks for sending through that voice memo. If you would like to give us feedback on any of the episodes that we're doing here on the Happy Families podcast, send those voice memos to podcasts@happyfamilies.com.au or just shoot us an email. We're delighted, love hearing from you. Okay, I'll do better tomorrow, Kylie. Clock's ticking already. We've had so much feedback and so many things to talk about. What's your I'll do better tomorrow?
Well, like I said a bit earlier, I've had an awesome week. being really, really intentional about just making small changes to the way I do things to have more intention and more purpose in the way I spend my time. And the mornings with the kids have been fantastic. Having that family meeting last weekend, getting us all sorted and on the same page, knowing exactly what needs to happen has just meant that things have run so smoothly. We've got to school on time and the kids have been, for the most part, really active participants.
You know, you're really enraging about 3/4 of our listenership right now who are saying, but I can't get it right. It's driving me up the wall. Why are my mornings not like that?
Well, I do get up quite early. That's
Yes.
one of the key secrets for me.
What time? Tell everybody, what time are you getting up?
So I get up at 5 a.m. and I'm usually awake before the alarm goes off.
At the risk of being a little bit crass, I'm pretty sure that some parents just puked in their mouths.
Yes. I know when I first got married and you would want to get up very, very early. It used to drive me insane. But I have actually, as I've gotten older, I have found that it's my most productive time.
Yep.
So I get up and as a parent, once the kids are awake, your time's not your own anymore. And so I've really been intentional about carving out some time for me. And it's the only time I can do it.
And let me just add, because Kylie gets up at 5 and I get up at 4:40 for my bike rides, or 4:30, depending on where I'm riding and who I'm riding with, sometimes even 4:20 because I'm that silly, we fall asleep without the aid of Netflix or anything like that at approximately
8:15?
somewhere between 8:15 and 8:45. Like, we are just potatoes at that hour of the night. But that's the way that we're living. But it gives us the time for us, but also the time to really be present for the kids because we've had the preparation for the day that we need.
Well, I feel amazing once I do that. So I get up, I read my favourite book, I make my bed, I get dressed, and then I go for a run down to the beach. It's only 1.5 Ks, so don't think I'm, like some marathon wizard. I'm only doing 1.5 Ks, but it's great. I get my body moving, and then I sit down at the beach, I do a meditation, I listen to a podcast, and I come home and the kids are just starting to stir.
What a life.
It is. It's amazing. and because of that, I feel great.
Yes.
I've fed my soul and I feel great and I show up as my best self.
It's inspiring. I'm so glad that you shared that.
And so once I do that, then the kids actually kind of catch my energy. I'm peppy in my step and I'm just so excited to give them a hug and wake them up in the mornings. And so for the most part, this week has been brilliant. But I got to yesterday and there's a change in routine. We have 2 extra kids home.
Yeah, because normally they've got some extracurricular activities first thing in the morning.
That's right. That take them out and they get themselves to school.
But not yesterday morning.
No. So 2 extra kids who are melancholy and who are not across the routine that we do every day when they're not there. And so they're just kind of on slow go. And so my 2 little ones who know what the routine are going, come on, let's go. We've got to be, out the door. And no one's in any hurry. And so slowly it just unraveled until it wasn't unraveling slowly. It was unraveling really, really fast. And everything just kind of fell in a heap.
Yeah, I don't think that I got the good morning on the phone.
You did not.
No.
You did not. And when you did ring to kind of check in, it was like, yeah, hi, Dad.
Yeah.
Nobody had any energy and everybody was really, really frustrated. And just the bickering and the fighting that created because things weren't going the way that they wanted to. And it was so easy for me to sit in that moment and think, oh, gosh, what am I doing wrong? But the reality is I didn't do anything wrong. It just is what it is. And no matter how intentional we are, some days are just going to be crappy.
Yeah, because kids are kids, right? Kids have got their own agenda. They've got their own moods.
Them,
yeah.
But I can do everything I can so that I can stay on top of me and then hopefully help them stay on top of them.
So what's the take-home message from your I'll Do Better tomorrow? Get up early and hope for the best?
I think it's just acknowledging that some days, no matter what you do, some days are just not going to happen the way you want them to. They're not going to meet your expectations. And it doesn't mean that you're doing anything wrong. It just means that you've got other people in your life. You've got children and you can't control their every action.
So that take-home message, really the first 5 minutes of your take-home message was you flexing about how good your mornings are. That's what it was, wasn't it? And can I just add?
I am living my best life, people.
You do.
I'm so excited.
You do this without coffee or any other stimulants. You just get up and make it happen.
Who's flexing now?
Hey, after the break, we're going to find out about how the parenting expert really has the best of intentions, but sometimes it doesn't translate so well. The 21st century is a tricky time to be a teen girl. Alcohol, drugs, mental health concerns, body image issues, technology, sex. Our daughters face all these and more. The Happy Families Misconnection Summit brings together the best modern-day experts on teen girls to show you how to stay connected with your daughter and help her face these challenges head-on. Available online via video at the Happy Families webshop.
It's the Happy Families podcast, the podcast for the time-poor parent who just wants answers now. What have you got for us today?
So, I'll Do Better Tomorrow is about reflecting on how we're doing, learning how to be better. You mentioned at the start of your I'll Do Better Tomorrow that in our family meeting, we got really clear on what the expectations are, and the kids have pretty much been brilliant for the whole week while I've been away doing my secret stuff that I can't talk about in relation to Parental Guidance Season 2 that I'm not going to say anything more about because I'm not allowed to. So I missed all of that great stuff, but the family meeting itself, everyone knows, everyone's heard us on the podcast, what went well, what didn't, what are we going to do about it this week? That's the extent of the family meeting, 10, 15 minutes max if the kids will just...
Well, you say it's going to be 10 or 15 minutes.
Well, the kids just keep on interrupting like you did then. That's what
But
happens.
everybody wants to have a voice.
I know they do, and with this many kids...
That's exactly right. I don't know how you think it's going to ever be 15 minutes.
Well, do you know why I actually say it's 10 or 15 minutes? Because I know that almost everybody who listens to the podcast has only got 1, 2 or 3 kids, right? There's very few that go beyond 3. Some do. But if you've only got a couple of kids and they're little, you can get through it super quick. You can get through it in 5 minutes. That's why I say 10 minutes. I'm averaging it.
Oh, averaging
Even though ours go for 45. So anyway, I pulled the kids together. They came in grumbly. They didn't even want to be there for the family meeting. And
We're very, very out of routine.
because you've been working so hard, they've actually used that as an excuse to do less. They've not been participating. And so I didn't go hard at them, but when they weren't giving us particularly responsive answers to the questions, what's going well, what's not, and what are we going to do about it, I kind of got agitated. I elevated my energy in an unpleasant way. I kind of was like, seriously, guys, are you not seeing what's going on here? Are you watching what mum's doing? There's no gratitude. There's no effort. And I may have started to lecture. I may have put the guilts on a little bit. And the meeting ended up being pretty clear in its outcome. There needs to be change. And the kids agreed that the routine needed to improve. So obviously you got the outcome, but we didn't get there in the nicest possible way. And I'm a little bit stuck now because my I'll Do Better Tomorrow was going to be, I shouldn't have gotten that frustrated with the kids. I should have been a little bit softer. I should have let them come to their own conclusions. I should have workshopped it a lot more with them rather than lecturing them. But it seems like it worked because you had a pretty good week except for yesterday, obviously. And now I'm kind of in this bind where I'm thinking sometimes as a parent, you've actually got to lay down the law. Sometimes as a parent, you've got to let them know what the expectations are if they're not living up to them. And there's research that shows that if you let them know, hey, this is the standard that we anticipate, this is the standard we expect, this is where we need you to be, that kids actually do lift to that level.
Well, that's why those family meetings are so important because we had it at the beginning of the week. We reset for the week. We reset the expectations and everybody was across it. We've had a great week for the most part. We get to have another family meeting this weekend to celebrate what we achieved and then to look at what didn't go so well and how we can improve on that. There's accountability. It makes such a difference instead of it going for months on end and everybody getting frustrated because of unmet expectations.
Too right. So anyway, the take-home message for me really is sometimes you actually do have to be strict, be clear, be firm, and let the kids know where we're up to right now is not where we're supposed to be. These are our family values. These are the expectations we have. Let's lift a little. Let's improve. And obviously the kids did, even though they didn't appreciate me giving them a bit of a serve. I wonder though, I just wonder, could I have done it a little more gently? Could I have done it a little more patiently? Could I have been a little more considered in the way that I did it? I guess we'll find out because this weekend we need to talk to them about getting along well together. That's the thing that needs to be worked on this time because, man, they've been at each other. Anyway, the take-home message, have those conversations with your kids. Let them know the expectations and hopefully things will change at least for a day or two.
Mine is to be intentional and purposeful, stay on task, but to recognise that when things don't go well, it's not necessarily because you've done anything wrong.
Yeah, nice one. We really hope that this I'll Do Better Tomorrow has been helpful and inspiring for making your family function better. If you have any feedback for us, we always appreciate it at podcasts. That's with an S, podcasts with an S, not the S at the front. I saw a meme the other day on the internet. Somebody ordered his coffee, and you know how they write their name on there? It's Mark. He said it's Mark, but with a C. And so when the coffee mug was handed to him, it was spelled C-A-R-C, C-A-R-K, Cark. Yeah. So when I say podcasts with an S, I don't mean sodcasts. I mean P-O-D-C-A-S-T-S, podcasts at happyfamilies.com.au. The Happy Families podcast is produced by Justin Rulon from Bridge Media. Craig Bruce is our executive producer. We love you guys. Thanks so much for all of your great work. And if you would like more info about making your family happier, we would so love to see you at happyfamilies.com.au.